Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Big Dang Ass Views. Okay, so welcome to the first video in my series of all the Alien and Predator movies. And just letting you guys know, I originally was going to be filming this exact same review using some of the video that I have on the actual disc. But then I realized that I don't want to have all this other copyright crap or whatever, so I'm not going to be able to do that for any of the reviews, except for possibly my video game review of Predator Concrete Jungle, which I'll be showing you guys on the big TV instead of the one upstairs. And also, a quick announcement. For any future video games I'll be doing a review on, if they're on the N64 or Super Nintendo that I'm going to be doing a review for, then I'll be doing it upstairs. If not, then most of the time I'll be doing it down here, at least for a while. So, I don't know. Anyway, so the first movie in the Alien segment, which includes Prometheus, is the movie Alien. Okay, what is there to say about this movie? This movie was probably one of the most groundbreaking for its time. It's what helped launch the genre of sci-fi and horror. Like movies like Predator, how they are sci-fi and horror. I personally don't think that they would. Movies like that wouldn't have been around if it weren't for the film Alien. I've seen some horror movies. I'm not a huge fanatic about it, but I do like the genre. And I like that this one had a claustrophobic atmosphere. If you watch movies like, let's say, the Jason movies. The Jason movies, they are this lumbering guy that goes around killing people, basically. And he's indestructible. That's all he does. And I'm not trying to bash the franchise. I'm a huge fan of it, but all he does is just go around killing people. He doesn't have any purpose or whatever. Just get the hell out of my leg. That's about it. But this movie, there is somewhat of purpose. The genre, as explained in Aliens, the second film, which I'll be reviewing after I'm done with this, they explain more of why these creatures do this. Why is it imperative for the species? And personally, I prefer movies that it explains why. It's not just needlessly killing people, but there's actually a reason behind why these characters do what they do. There's a reason why these heroes believe this way. In fact, before I was doing this review, I started a show called Attack on Titan. I have quite a few friends that are obsessed with anime, and they mentioned it before, and the reason this character feels hatred towards these Titans, and it's an anime, I definitely suggest you watch them on episode 13 of 25 that they have on Netflix. I don't know. But anyway, this character feels this way he does about the Titans for a reason. It's not just see how dare you step on my lawn, you're going to die. It's not like that. I mean, it is, but it isn't at the same time. It actually has somewhat of a little bit of purpose, and that's what I like about movies like this. This movie especially delves into the relationship that each of these characters have with one another. It's not completely in depth. It's not like a documentary on these characters, but you do realize okay, this person has this perk, this other one hates this, and this and this and this. This person is obsessed with money. This person is not the bravest in the world, and you just find out more about these characters as time goes on, and that's what I prefer about this movie. That's why I like Alien so much. Also, this movie takes place in a spaceship. Hence the slogan, "In space, no one can hear you scream," which I really love. And it's just a really good film. I like it. Um, and yeah. I think that this movie, I prefer Aliens compared to this one. This movie, it's like too much of a claustrophobic atmosphere. Like I said, you get to understand these characters, you get to understand their perks, and what they like and what they don't like, and minor details like that if you pay attention to the film. But they don't show very much of the creature, which adds to the claustrophobic atmosphere. And they are literally in claustrophobic situations the entire time. It's in a ship, and I'm going on these tight corridors constantly throughout the entire film. The only time that they're ever not in a claustrophobic atmosphere is when they're on LV-426 when they first find the alien. But even then, it still feels claustrophobic. So I love the way that you feel when you're watching this movie. That it's a thriller. It's kind of a thriller, but whatever. But yeah, I really like the movie because of that. Also, like I said, this is what helped launch ideas into the sci-fi franchise. Well, not franchise, but new genre. Of course, we already had movies like, not movies, but TV shows like Star Trek and stuff. But this is what helped to launch a little bit more than just these people going around and firing lasers at each other. It was, and don't get me wrong, I like Star Trek, but this one has more of a creature that we would never expect, and it really brought something new to the audiences, at least for the time. Obviously, I wasn't around when it came out. The first one of these four main movies I saw was Aliens, like I mentioned earlier, and that one was more of an action-oriented film. It had the horror aspect that the first one had. You still got to understand the majority of the characters, or at least the ones that meant something a little more. But this one, I felt like all of the characters I could identify with in some little way. Or not really identify, but understand their perks. Understand why they think this way that they do. Why they want money so much. Why they hate the company so much. For those of you who don't know, it's Weyland-Yutani. I might put it in a picture here or something. But yeah, that's the basis of the story, and I love the way that Ridley Scott tells it. They don't show very much of the alien, and it has a large build-up. For any one of you that may have seen the original Godzilla films, I'm not talking about the 54 Japanese release, which I hopefully will see next time I see my friend David, who's been on the show, or on my reviews once, or a couple times already, but yeah, in the Godzilla films, there's a lot of build-up to the main entrance of Godzilla. Take Godzilla vs. Gigan, for example. There's build-up. But they don't do it in a good way. I don't like the build-up they have for the movie. Like I said, David was only showing me this, and he and I have watched it a few times. How dare you get yours? You're such a dumbo. Sorry, nerd. But that movie, Godzilla vs. Gigan especially, you don't really understand any of the characters, nor do you really care. In Alien, if you really want to learn about a film, then you watch it and you understand these characters. And there's a reason why you need to. You need to understand these characters. And that's what I like about it. And also, like I said, brought something brand new to the table for the genre of sci-fi and horror. The reveal of the xenomorph for the first time, when this character, I forget his name. I can't believe I actually forgot this guy's name. Anyway, not a main character, but one of the characters. And so here's the storyline of Alien. If you haven't seen the reviews, or not reviews, but the movies and stuff. Basically, in the original film Alien, the ship. I forget what type of ship it was. It was some commercial vessel. Anyway, they're working for the Weyland-Yutani Corporation, or was it Yutani or just Weyland? I don't know. They're working for the Weyland company, and basically working for them. And they were on their way home when they received a distress beacon. They went on company orders to set down on this. I think LV-426 is actually a moon. I forget. Anyway, this place that doesn't have breathable air. Pretty sure it's a moon, but it has an atmosphere. Anyway, they sat down on LV-426 or LV-426, whatever you want to call it, for this distress beacon that they picked up. So they send in 3 people, and they go and venture into the ship, and eventually they find this weird thing in a chair. And unknown to the audience at the time, they had no idea what this thing was. It looked like it almost had an elephant helmet or whatever on his face, and it was just really weird for them the first time they saw. And those creatures are explained somewhat in Prometheus, not to the full extent, but I'll talk about these later, actually in this review as well. Or no, I'll say that until Prometheus. But anyway, they find that right part of his chest, the bones are bent outward like they exploded from the inside. So they had no idea what was going on. Then this one guy, he's the one that actually ventures in. When the other 2 of this group of 3 are looking at the corpse and looking in this area that looks almost like a cockpit or some kind, he finds like a hole in the ground. Or what could it be? So he decided, okay, might as well go down. So he goes down attached to wire and everything, and goes and as he descends, you see this vast frame of what looks to be thousands and thousands of eggs going on for miles. And so after he sits down, he's looking around and he sees this layer of mist covering the eggs. So he touches it, and then it seemed like it actually pulled him down, which was kind of weird. Anyway, after he got pulled down, I guess, or something like that, by the mist, I don't know. Basically, he slipped and fell, and it looked like he got... He slipped. Anyway, after he slipped and fell, he went up to one of the eggs, and he saw that something was moving on the inside. Something was alive. What? And this egg was probably... I don't know, this big? Maybe? Yeah, a little bit larger than that. But anyway, after he was taking a look at the egg, and it opened up like a flower. And all of a sudden he was looking at it, and then this thing just jumps out of nowhere. It's only there for a couple seconds, and latches onto his face. It's cool. But yeah, so after he did that, he was brought back onto the ship, and they tried getting off. They found out that it actually bleeds acid, which is kind of weird for a creature to actually have acid, but to bleed acid. I mean, it was concentrated acid, and it nearly went through the entire hull of the ship. And anyway, they were trying to get off this facehugger, as I don't think they ever say the name of the facehugger. Yeah, I don't think they ever said the name of it. Anyway, after they find out about the facehugger and everything, they lift up, Then they try getting the facehugger off. It won't come off. It would strangle the victim. It's basically the only thing that's keeping it alive. The only way to get it off is to kill the person. That's about the only reason. So basically, if you get a facehugger on you, you're dead. No doubt about it. There is nothing you can do to get it off. Well, except for an Alien 4, but that was a piece of shisa. But anyway, and but yeah, they try getting off and it won't come off, and then finally it falls off and dies, and they learn that, and no idea what's going on, and then they find out later that it must have laid an embryo inside of his chest. And anyway, after this guy wakes up, the facehugger's dead and everything. He wakes up, and he goes, and they do this amazing scene. I love this one. Really quick though, for those of you, quick question: have you guys ever heard of the Angry Video Game Nerd? If you haven't, I really think that you guys should look him up. Anyway, he did a review on this, and he mentioned that scene where the chest burster comes out, because they're having dinner and chest person bursts out of the chest and kills the guy. That actually, that scene was only filmed in one take, and Ridley Scott, the director, told them just to sit down and film a normal scene as if you're eating dinner. Just do a normal dinner scene, nothing big. They'd done this already, most like a couple takes before, because they had already eaten dinner once before in the movie and a couple other times. And anyway, the actors had no idea what was going on. I know that the person that had the thing come out knew, but I don't know about the other people. It was only him. And so anyway, they filmed this scene, and all of a sudden they had this thing pop out of his chest. This chest burster came out and it scared the shit out of them. So that was genuine fear. If you see that movie, that was real fear that they saw. So yeah, that wasn't really acting there. They really did. That was their actual expressions, because they had no idea what was going on. So I might be wrong about that, but yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I might be wrong. You can't always count on someone to have all the answers. So, but anyway, sorry, I'm doing take this. Anyway, this thing goes throughout the ship. They have to chase it down. They try multiple times, and to no avail. So I don't want to spoil it, but only one of the people survives. And guess who? Sigourney Weaver survives. The only person to survive this massacre is Sigourney Weaver. And here's the funny thing. If I had seen this movie in the theater, I would have never suspected that it was only her that survived. They barely talked about her very much beforehand. But the only thing that you knew about her in the slightest was that she was a flight officer, and she had a cat. That was about it. Nothing more, nothing less. That's what the only thing that you ever really learn about her. She's the only one that survives. Spoiler. What? I'm sure by the end she starts to get her ass in gear, but beforehand, she just doesn't really. I don't know. It's hard to think that she would be the only one that survives. So, but I don't know. I'm not complaining. Overall, it's an okay film. Not my cup of tea exactly. It's not the best film I've ever seen. I prefer the second one over it, but still, it was still groundbreaking for its time, and I really like the way that they portrayed this film, and I'm definitely going to give it another watch soon. I can guarantee you that. But yeah, if you haven't seen the Alien films, any of them, I suggest this one. I'd actually suggest to watch this one second, because the second one, Aliens, I prefer a lot more, and I think that you would enjoy the franchise a little bit more if you watch that one first. But I don't know, it's your decision. I'll mention to you why in the second film review. But yeah, give this one a watch if you ever have a chance. Give Alien by Ridley Scott a watch. Just give it a watch. Alright. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed. And yeah, that's about it. I hope you all enjoyed, and have a good one.